What's up, y'all? I'm Denova, and welcome back to another episode of The Nova Show. I'm happy we are to be here. Today, we have another very special interview with the intake specialist from Maryland Builders Crew. I would like to introduce Alex.
Hey guys, so my name is Alex and I'm an intake specialist for Maryland Builder Crew. It's my dad's company, and yeah,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Um, let's jump right into it because I know we both got some busy schedules today. So
Right. Hopefully, it's going to be the shortest podcast.
we gonna see. We gonna see. Short this episode, we gonna see. Okay.
Right.
So I was wondering if you could share how Maryland Builder Crews LLC got started and like what inspired its creation, if you know.
So basically, my dad first started off working for another company, and I guess he was tired of being, an employee. So he decided to start his own business, and we named it Maryland Builders Crew. We had so many names in mind, and that's when it began. This business started getting a little bit more popularity as we started developing and creating the website, the phone number that he needed, um, and through marketing, that is how he gets some of his jobs. And I'm just here to kind of explain what we do.
What would you say so far as been y'all's best way to acquire clients?
So sometimes people reach out to us, and when they do, my phone number is also associated with his work phone, and some clients like to reach out and they present the projects that they want to do, like to home improve their house, because we do a bunch of things from home improvement to decks, etc. Um, we help people create more so a reality for their houses. So we just like to live up to their dreams. If you need something built a specific way, we'll do it for you, and it's exactly how you would imagine it to be.
That's really dope. So, as an intake specialist, what would you say your key role is?
So essentially, my key role is sometimes clients would call me. So I'd take those calls and kind of just get the request and take it down, or any ideas that they have, and then present it to my dad. Sometimes, in the case that, um, let's say the website that we have needs to be kind of updated, I'd kind of shift it over because my major is computer science. I just want to put it out there. But yeah, I work on it a little bit if it needs to be updated, if needed to. And overall, it's just creating and giving that great customer service that a lot of people, would need. And not just in my job, but like in any other job that you can imagine. It's just about the customer service and just helping them out. That's pretty much it.
That's really dope.
Yeah.
Um, so the team has 22 years working on the trade, according to the Next Door page. How would you say that that legacy has shaped your culture today?
So coming from the immigrant family, I decided, I seen a lot of improvement in our work ethic, majorly his, because him starting off as an employee to kind of live up to his dreams of being, a business owner one day, and it just it just shows the hard work of Hispanics in general, especially, us being more than 68% hard workers that do the hardworking jobs that nobody else wants to do. It just shows a great impact in our culture. It shows pride. And I'd like to say that I'm very proud of him, specifically my dad, for kind of taking a step forward into wanting to live his dream, which is, starting his own business, and which he did. And I'm glad that he's starting to get more clients as the business goes on.
What core values would you say differentiates Maryland Builder Crew from other local contractors?
So for me, I feel like one is trust. I know that Maryland Builders Crew is very trustworthy, and as well as for customers, is just their overall experiences that they had already when they take pictures and they're like, oh, I give this 5 stars because it is exactly how I imagined it, you know? And I feel like it just, our work ethic is just put out, and it shows, you know, it shows through everything that we have made, help people create, you know, home improved, you know, it's, it's all done through the work, and the work does show how much potential we have.
I love that. I want to try and shift over a little bit to try and get to know y'all's team a little bit, and like essentially ask like if you could walk us through the different players, like the different people on the team and what roles each of them play from your father and forward.
So, my father obviously owns the business, and I am kind of like the secondary option, just with customer service. I'm the intake specialist, and as well, he has people that he also works with, so that'd be his own employees. And basically, my mother also comes into the job as kind of helping sketching out and designing what he should build and how he should build to finish the projects that the customers want. So she's kind of like the archaeologist, and he follows that plan through. Um, and I'm basically, you know, there to help, you know, if nobody can reach him, there's my number where I can, you know, present the idea of the customer to my father. So basically it's just like a connection that we all have, and I feel like with that connection, that's why it's so important for us to talk about, you know, the projects and just overall communicate, so we can get the job done.
How would you say you guys cultivate a cohesive culture across different trades, like such as carpentry and painting and things of that nature?
Mm, that's actually a really good question. So I feel like we're just, like I said before, we're overly just all connected in general, and as well we have the upper hand kind of, because sometimes we'd have like only Spanish speaking contractors, like also as well as contractors, and we kind of like, we all just kind of get ideas from each other in a sense, um through the projects and stuff. And I feel like personally for me, um our community is kind of big, and through all that communication I feel like we're all able to learn something, and it just, our culture just speaks for itself. Like, we're very helpful with other people, and overall I feel like with the communication that we all have, it's just, I feel like it brings more awareness in a sense to my culture.
That's dope. That's really dope. Hmm. I was wondering if you could walk us through like your typical project flow from its initial inquiry to its final handoff.
I got you. So from the inquiry, um, we first start off with our estimate. Our estimates are free, and um, after that, my mom would have to get this get the idea first on um, how to kind of build it and start it off, while she talks to my dad about it. And my dad is the one who gets the materials, you know, gives the estimates of how much it's going to cost. And the good thing about us is we are very budget friendly, and we are not like the other contractors who be like overpricing. And I feel like that's also another good thing about us. And then there comes the actual call from like the customer, just updating, making sure that it's okay, that we can do it. And then after that, we would go to the job site, and his employees and him would start working on whatever the customer needed to be done.
Okay. How do you set expectations and communicate progress with your clients?
So we would update them, and through the calls and as well through pictures, because there are sometimes anything can happen. So one time, maybe a customer is out on vacations and stuff, we would send pictures to the phone number, email, whatever the customer would prefer. And sometimes it's just mainly through the phone. You just call them, be like, hey, like everything's okay, we started working on this, that, so forth, and just kind of update them and take it step by step.
Yeah, give check-in updates to like about different progress that you made.
Right. And
milestones.
Right.
What would you say your approach is to handling scope changes during a project? Scope changes during a project. My bad.
So scope changes for us, there can be like minor or like major details. If it's a minor scope change, I would have to if I received the call, I would have to tell my dad, like, hey, no, this is how the customer kind of wanted tweak the project a little bit. Or sometimes if it's major, we'd have to restart over. But we understand, we'd go by the customer because the customer is always right. That saying. So we'd have to actually start all over again. And then, if it's different material, we would buy different material. If, the texture has to be different, we would, make sure the texture is right. We have to get the right materials, right paintings if necessary, right parts, screws, equipment, whatever it may be, on the spot. And however the customer needs it to be, we would settle with that.
How have you ever my apologies. Have you guys ever faced a project delay, and if so, how would y'all manage that?
I'm not quite sure if we ever managed a delay, because as a like, right now, the business been moving kind of slow. So we're like so in the middle. But if we were to have managed a delay, I feel like that would kind of push us back a little bit, but there's no worries, because we don't always have one client every day, and we have to finish the project. We would have many, like a handful, and then kind of prioritize the others that are more easier to do, rather than like if it were like a big project delay, we can push that back a little bit. But if it's like minor, no worries, we can just always come back to the client.
Okay. I was wondering, though BuildZoom lists no formal reviews yet, I was wondering, how do y'all gather feedback and refine your services?
That's also a great question. So with the little work that we have done so far, many people are highly satisfied with it. So in that sense, we would kind of encourage them, like, oh, you should rate it and give us the honest review of the project we had just done. We don't typically, get as much reviews, because, sometimes it's optional. It's like Yelp. So not many people, do it. But like I said, it just shows through the projects and like the final product. It just shows that we are very hardworking, and we we stand on our word. So when we say we'll get it done, we'll get it done, and you would not have no doubts whatsoever.
I like how passionate y'all are about y'all's work, and y'all highlight that through y'all's Instagram account as well, highlighting build your dream into a reality and free quotes 18 years plus and things of that nature. So I was wondering how social media has helped impact y'all's growth, like business wise.
So before, when we really didn't market as much, we had less jobs. But with the help of social media and marketing, I feel like it has brought more attention actually of our business, helping us grow. Um, I feel like marketing, and not just in any, like LLC, etc., type of company, in any company, marketing is the best way to gain audience and to gain clients, customers, etc. And when we started marketing, we realized, hey, it's kind of, helping us in a way. We just had to find, sometimes we'd hire, very professional marketers to kind of help us understand and to help us know what to do in circumstances, to how to get more clients and more audience, so more eyes are on us than other contractors.
What qualities do you look for in a good collaboration partner, like networking wise, that to be able to help grow y'all's business?
Right. So I feel like I said before, marketing is very important, but it can be a risk depending on who you put your money into, or what app you put your money into. So we would sometimes, like I said also earlier, having connections is one of the best things you can also do when owning a company. We have connections, like close family friends and family who are marketers as well. So they just help us, kind of put our company out there for less cheap, rather than, those professional people that, they know what they're doing, as well as, your family, if they're majors or, marketing stuff, they know what they're doing as well. But it's just a more cheaper and more, valuable option, because you can trust them fully 100% to do the work.
I definitely understand that. I I enjoy being able to rely on family to be able to help you out with some of your endeavors, but it also is helpful to build your own connections outside of that. Um, how would you guys say that y'all make y'all's partnerships beneficial, like mutually beneficial?
So our partnerships are, we kind of treat it as like a family. So if we rely on you very much, and we know that we can trust you as the LLC, um, then I feel like from there we can make many projects from customers more beneficial, like more better. There you go. Because when you're collaborating with someone, you don't want to collaborate with anybody that you don't really know, kind of, but it's still good to kind of make a connection. And if, your guys' connection is so strong, you're able to work as a team way better than, somebody that you don't really know. So that's how we would look at it.
I agree with that. Understanding your team is definitely beneficial whenever it comes to any partnership. Okay. With that being said, with a Build Zoom score of 90, what practices do you feel earned you guys that score?
Um, I'm not gonna lie, I don't build anything, but I really feel like it's my dad's 20 plus year experience of building things. Um, they have taught him a lot when he started working for the other company before he started his own business. So I feel like that really helped him gain the knowledge that he needed in order for him to start his own business, which I'm very proud of him for.
Okay. Shifting over into a bit more of the innovation standpoint, has the crew adopted any, well, the crew as in the business as a whole, not just the building crew, adopted any new technologies like project management softwares or green building materials?
Yeah, so my mom is pretty old school. So when she used to draw a lot, that is how mostly the building plans would go. So she would draw it out completely, like from sketch to the final project, and kind of explain to my dad. There are some softwares that, I have to use personally, like spreadsheets, in order to, like, accommodate the costs and, letting my dad know how much everything would be. And as well as just working in a group, I feel like we do use Microsoft a lot for just various of things. Um, like the team Microsoft thing, we build on, we have like meetings sometimes, and we like discuss, certain projects that may be, up and coming, or how we like this project. um but overall, for like the building aspect of the company, we're pretty old school.
I can understand that. Trying to keep it old school. That's dope. Um, how would you say you strategize growth and expanding services, territories, and even like y'all's team, y'all's employees?
So, out of home improvement, we also are kind of looking at flipping. So, renovating the houses and, selling them. Um, with that, that would make such a growth impact on the company itself, because nowadays a lot of people are like renovating and flipping their houses, and you see, um, if you see a house that's, just like within your price budget, and you go inside and you're like, wow, this is a really good looking house, that is what we kind of want to do. um Not only just within the home improvement, but as well as anything as flipping the houses, that would gain a lot of more income for the business, etc.
Hmm. Okay. Have you well, yeah, have you guys ever had to reject a project that didn't align with the business's vision, and why?
So sometimes when customers require or they need uh, a special product, sorry, um, when we look at it and we're trying to figure out, what it could be or what it is, and, we're trying to see where we can buy it from. Sometimes the product may not be, shown in the United States. So that's where we kind of like, we have to say, hey, like, we apologize, but we can't do your project since, the material or product is missing. So when that happens, that would be an instance of us rejecting the project. Um, Most of the time, we would have the product that the customers would need, because we would more so look at like US products. That's where we mainly work, you know. And yeah, overall, that would be just one instance out of the many, that we may have to reject the project. But yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, are there any community outreach or charitable initiatives tied to the company?
Um, I feel like, Maryland Builders Crew probably at the moment does not have any like outreach, since it's just my family basically owning it and a couple of other people, helping out. But we do show gratitude to those that are trying to help us, and, um, just helping my dad get, more clients and stuff. And overall, just showing that he's very proud in what he does. It just makes me happy.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
And finally, what's one insider tip for homeowners planning to remodel their house that you wish everyone knew?
Um, Read. And I say that because not many people who start off with their businesses, they just start instead of actually not really knowing what they're doing. I feel like if you first, kind of get some basic knowledge at first on how to, how to start your own business, um, do that. A lot of people get confused in the first upcoming steps on opening a business or how to even, go for it. And that's exactly what I felt like happened with Maryland Builders Crew. It was very rocky at first, but then as we started to, gain more knowledge about how to gain more of an audience and more clients, the company itself grew. And with that, we are very helpful that, we started building knowledge as we were going with the company, rather than just staying stuck and not really knowing what to do. So I say to those who do want to start their own business, um, figure out what it is you want to do. And then after, um, kind of gain a sense of how would I do it? How would I, start this business? It's very crucial. Your first steps of opening a business is very crucial that you know how to, so you wouldn't be stuck or confused on anything. And that's basically my advice to those new entrepreneurs out there.
That's really dope. Well, Alex, it was a pleasure speaking with you, interviewing you, chopping it up with you. And I really hope to possibly get you or even your father on the podcast again in the near future.
Yeah, me as well. It was such a blessing to be able to talk about the business itself and just chat with you. I hope in the future, we can also do another podcast, and it'd be pretty chill.
Mm. Um, with that being said, this has been another episode of The Nova Show. Be sure that if you like the video to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for more. And with that, I'm The Nova, and I see you on the next one. Peace.